Hi there, welcome to another C# video tutorial. I'm Josef Botnar, and in this C# video tutorial I will make an application that will convert kilometers per hour to miles per hour using an interval. I have already done this form named converter, and I've got those controls on this form. This list box will display the conversion between kilometers per hour to miles per hour using this interval, which I will type in this box. This text box that represent the start speed, as I told you, I will type the start speed. The next box I will type the end of speed, and then last one I will use for interval to type an interval. I've got three buttons. The first one will convert the kilometers per hour to miles per hour using this interval. The next one, this next button will clean all those controls, and the exit button will close this form and this application. Okay, so let's start to code. First, I'm going to give a double click on this button convert, and inside this method, which is linked to this button convert, I'm going to write a code. So firstly, I will declare a few variables. And on this line, I'm going to declare a constant, which is going to hold the conversion factor between kilometers and miles. I use a constant for this conversion factor between kilometers per hour to miles per hour, because this conversion factor is not going to be changed, and it's a very good idea to use a constant for values which are not going to be changed through the code. I declared this double variable start speed, which is a double real variable, which is going to store double real numbers, and I use this class convert with this method to double to do the conversion from string to double, and this variable start speed is going to store this value that I will type in this text box, and because all values typed in text box is treated by C# compiler as a string, I must do this conversion from string to real number double. So as you've been told, this variable start speed will hold this value typed in this text box which represent the start speed, and the next variables, this end speed, will hold this value typed in end speed text box, and the interval, this interval variable, which is going to store integer variable, because I use this int before the interval variable, is gonna to hold this value type in this box, which represent the interval. So after all, I declare another two variables, double variables, which I'm gonna to use those inside the for loop. Okay, so as I told you, I'm going to use a for loop. This for loop will make the conversion, will compute the conversion from kilometers per hour to miles per hour, and will display all those conversions inside this list box after I will press this button convert. So let's make this. So as you've been told, this for loop will compute the conversion from kilometers per hour to miles per hour using this formula, which is going to make the conversion between kilometers per hour to miles per hour using this conversion factor, which is a constant, double constant, which I declared here on this line, line 28 inside this code, and here on the line 34 I used this list box to display the conversion inside this list box, the conversion from kilometers per hour to miles per hour. So and for this button, for next button, I already done the code. It's about this. So you should write the name of text box which you're gonna to clear, or which the button is gonna to clear it, and after followed by equal and the codes. And for this button exit, this method close is gonna to close the form and this application, of course. Okay, let's release. Let's first to compile this application. Let's release it. Okay, so I don't like here because the cursor is not focused on the first text box. So I'm gonna go back to my code, and I'm gonna to write here focus method, which I want to be on the first text box on this start speed box, So I'm going to write the name for the start speed box. Okay, let's release again this application, and okay, let's see what is going on. On tab order, yeah, we should change here the order. So I want here to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it's all right. Good. Click on tab order again. Let's release again this application. Okay, and now I've got the focus on the first text box. Let's type the start speed. Let's be 1, and the end speed on this text box. Let's be 150 and interval 1. Okay, convert, and here you go. Here is the conversion listed between kilometers per hour and miles per hour using this interval 1. So 1 kilometer is equal with 0.6214 miles per hour, and so on. Okay, let's use another start speed 10, 100, or let's say 250, and the interval 10. Convert. Here you go. Now you have conversion for each kilometers that using these 10 intervals to miles per hour. So 10 kilometers per hour is equal with 6.240 miles per hour. 20 kilometers is equal with 12.428 miles per hour, and so on. I'm going to give you a tip. If you want to understand the application better, you should use breakpoint. You go on the line where you want to set a breakpoint, and after you go on debug and click on this toggle breakpoint, yeah, start debugging. Okay, type the values in boxes here, for example 10, 250, and for interval 10. Click on convert button, and click on step into. Now the start speed, as you can see, if you go down in the locals, start speed was assigned with this value 10. Yeah, now the cursor is in front of this loop, for loop, yeah, and this double variable was assigned by 10, and here the test was true, so the cursor is gonna go inside this for loop, and now it's in front of this formula, which is going to do the conversion between kilometers hours and miles per hours, and so on. And here in locals you can watch how this application is going to work. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. See you next time.